don't you? You hate me, 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 don't you?
Tiny Harris came out, you know what I mean? Came out in this interview and said telling you about the situation before that. You actually seen Biggie himself at that interview talking about how he was calling niggas a nigga. And Will Ferrell said he's been a fan of hip hop for the last 5 years, just 5 years. You know what I mean? So now, with it, and then he goes on to say that, you know what I mean? He don't see no lines, no. Yeah, what's going on? What is happening? What's happening? What's going on? Today is going to be episode 239. What's happening on this fine Monday? It's a good Monday. Hope y'all had a good weekend. You know what I'm saying? Hope y'all kicked it. Hope y'all pulled up. Hope y'all rolled up. Did everything that you do on your leisure when you ain't got to go to work or attend some productivity percentages or make some count through the week. Whatever it is that you do for work, you know what I'm saying? I hope you had a relaxing weekend after your week of work. You feel me? So we back on this Monday after the weekend that we had. You know what I mean? Hope everybody had a fine, good weekend. Today is Cinco de Mayo. You know what I mean? For the Latin culture. You know what I'm saying? So today is Cinco de Mayo. You know what I mean? My Monday is man, already starting off kind of bad. You know what I mean? Got a kid sitting home and shit already. You know what I'm saying? And it's only goddamn 12:31 in the afternoon. You know what I'm saying? On this fine Monday, 12:31 in the afternoon. And the heat is coming. It is supposed to be a high of 88 degrees today. 88 degrees. That is 2 degrees away from goddamn 90 degrees. You know what I'm saying? I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? I don't like it. Bring on the rain. You feel me? Bring on the fog. Bring on that 30-degree weather. You know what I'm saying? That's what I miss. That's what I love the most. I hate the heat. I can't stand it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, though, you know what I mean? Hope y'all enjoyed Friday's episode. Looked at some TikToks. You know what I mean? The darkest conspiracies on the internet. Whatever I decide to name it. You know what I mean? Some of the most darkest conspiracies. You know what I'm saying? I felt like it was a dope episode myself. I had some shit in there that I didn't even know. You feel me? I like that they put in there. I found the assassinations with the links between Kennedy and Lincoln is something crazy. You know what I'm saying? That was dope. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed that episode. You feel me? That was episode 238. You know what I mean? The most darkest conspiracies on the internet. You know what I mean? I brought that to y'all attention. So today, it's episode 239. You know what I'm saying? 239. I ain't got too much. Quick little subjects, you know what I mean? Ain't a lot of info in these topics, you feel me? Just something real brief, you know what I mean, to go by. You know what I'm saying? So today, we're going to be touching on, you know what I'm saying, Tiny Harris, you know what I mean, said that Biggie had apologized for a line that he put in one of his songs about 30 minutes before his tragic demise. You know what I'm saying? Warren G out here saying on the interview that he feeling like niggas is leaving him out. You know what I'm saying? Niggas don't hit him up to come hang around or none of that. You know what I mean? Said Snoop Dogg got him a Super Bowl ticket, but yeah, it was the time he was trying to come and see him and nobody was answering their phones and none of that. So he went into detail on that on the interview. We're going to touch on that. Will Ferrell said his first concert was with to see Roddy Ricch. We're going to touch on that a little bit. And A$AP Rocky came out in the interview and said that him and Rhianna be stealing each other's clothing. We're going to touch on that. That's the topics we're going to touch on today. You know what I'm saying? Without further ado, without no more banter, you know what I'm saying? Oh, and one last thing before we get into these topics, you know what I'm saying? If this is your first time here, let's say you just hit that subscribe button. This is what we do on this channel. We go over updates, news, headlines, shit that took place, shit that went viral, shit that you might have seen, whatever topics you might have seen on Google, YouTube, Snapchat, whatever that is featured in your face, in your optical. If it was some type of headline about somebody doing something, a celebrity, sometimes it'd be local news, sometimes it'd be news in your section, other states, whatever the case may be, I cover it right here on Kons Podcast. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get my commentary headline, my commentary on these headlines. You're going to get my thoughts and opinions on each topic, on each headline that I choose to cover. Usually about 3 or 4, you know what I'm saying, Monday through Friday. You feel me? So if you just subscribed and you here now and you here for this episode right now, I hope you kick your feet up and you're lazy boy and you here to stay. You feel me on Kons Podcast. I hope you keep that subscribe button pushed and also that bell. You feel me? So you get alerted every time I drop an episode. You know what I mean? But yeah, though, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching, though, whoever you may be, whatever section you is, whatever state you are in, whatever city you in, whatever hood you in, whatever block you from. Thank you for tuning in to Kons Podcast. Without further ado, without no more banter, let's jump right in to episode 239. You feel me? So first up, you know what I'm saying, Tiny Harris. So Tiny Harris has came out, you know what I mean? He came out in this interview and said that Biggie had recently came out and apologized to her before his untimely demise. You know what I'm saying? She said he passed on and was killed about 30 minutes after he had came to them and said that he wanted to talk to him, said that he wanted to talk to Escape, the whole group, you know what I mean? And the other girls was like, nah, I ain't feeling that shit. Fuck that nigga, you know what I mean? Because in his line, one of his songs, he said, I'll fuck RuPaul before I fuck them ugly ass Escape bitches. You know what I'm saying? Something. Man, so Tiny Harris wasn't feeling that. Escape wasn't feeling that. So Tiny Harris said, you know what? I'll go holler at him, see what he talking about. You know what I mean? So she went to go holler at him and he apologized for the line that he said in the song. You feel me? Now to hear, like, mind you, her girls in Escape wasn't feeling that shit. They didn't want to hear shit from that nigga. You feel me? So, but T.I. went on ahead and heard him out and he was apologizing, and 45 minutes later, he was gunned down with the tragic event that all of us in our 30s know and remember. You know what I'm saying? So in this little short little clip that you're about to see, this is just a video of them talking to Escape and Tiny going into details saying about how Biggie apologized about the line that he had said in his song. Check this clip out.
I saw Jermaine Dupri speak out on certain things when it came to the beginning of the group, and he said that it was harder to break y'all because you weren't considered cute. When you hear things like that, does that like kind of bother you? Because it kind of bothered me because I thought y'all was cute because I was trying to dress like y'all. So it's like, you know, obviously we heard the line that Biggie said, which I felt like was super disrespectful. But then for Jermaine to kind of like comment on it, did y'all feel any kind of?
I did not, honestly, I did not see the interview, but I did see like a clip floating online. I mean, somebody thought we was cute. So. There you know, we dropped them albums, we went platinum each time. Somebody, you know, he must have saw something. But with that being said, with the Biggie situation, you know, that was something that did happen. You know, we don't, you know, obviously the world heard the song. The girls, they are more forgiving than I, and I feel bad to this day because the day that he passed away, we were at that party, and Biggie apologized. I wouldn't go over there.
Yeah, so somebody came to, I don't know if it was Diddy or somebody came and said, Biggie wanted to speak to y'all, and
let's be clear, this wasn't a Diddy party. This was
it was the awards.
Okay, all right, let's just be clear. Go ahead, finish telling the story, Tiny.
And she was like, I ain't going to speak to that. And I was just like, I'm gonna go see what he's talking about. And you know, he was very nice. He was very apologetic, and he basically said, I don't know what I was thinking. I'm ugly. Look, I'm ugly. I just said, you know what I'm saying? Y'all are beautiful, and you know, I just, you know, wanted to say, I apologize or whatever. And so I went back and I told Candace, I told her what you said, and then he ended up passing like probably 20-30 minutes after that happened.
Wow. But he was definitely a fan. He came to our show in New York.
He did say that. He was coming to our shows, and when he came to our shows, Jermaine would come and say, hey, Biggie outside, you want to come in? We were like, no, you can't come in here.
Right. You know, he was on the front row, though.
Because we felt some kind of way.
Right.
So even though he was showing up, he kept coming to different shows, and we just wasn't trying to hear anything or see him, or basically be like, yeah, you can come in here and, you know, parlay with us. We wasn't with it.
Isn't it kind of eerie that 30 minutes before he passes away, you guys get to find out, at least some of y'all finally get a chance to have the conversation about that?
Yeah, it was a moment that I, you know, take, you know, really, you know, cherish, because, you know, I got to hear it before he passed, and I got to pass it on to the girls.
Yeah.
And it was great to hear him at least acknowledge that he was wrong.
You hate me, don't you?
You see, you know what I'm saying? That was her just going into detail, telling you that he came and apologized about 30 minutes before his untimely unaliving. You know what I'm saying? Warren G went on a podcast and was doing an interview and was talking about how niggas don't be hitting them up. You know what I'm saying? They don't be hitting up to come hang or none of that. You feel me? So we wondering what's the deal. Well, he wasn't throwing no shade at Dr. Dre or Snoop Dogg. You feel me? So they asked him, was he able to get into the Super Bowl? And he was like, yeah, through Snoop. You know what I'm saying? Snoop got him a ticket in there, but when he was trying to come downstairs for his son, with his son to meet everybody because his son hasn't seen him. His son is Isaiah Griffin played for the Bills. Now that's Warren G's son. You know what I'm saying? So he brought his son there and was gonna bring him down, trying to meet Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. But when he was calling them, nobody was answering their phones, he said. So he felt the way. You know what I mean? He clearly felt the way. You know what I mean? Niggas don't be hitting him. He felt like niggas is ghosting him. You feel me? So this is a little clip of what he was talking about. And also after this, I'm gonna show you the little drip news video that they put summarizing the situation. But first you're gonna see a video of Warren G talking about the Super Bowl and how he called niggas and niggas wasn't answering the phone and he wanted his son to meet him. You're gonna see that first, and then you're gonna see drip news breaking the situation that Warren G was talking about all down for you, summing it up, putting it in a nutshell for you. So check these clips out.
I still kind of like feel like
a lot of it came through you.
Yeah, all of it came through me, like really. But even though right now, like Snoop and Dre get down and they doing things, and it's no diss to neither one of them or anything like that. But it's like y'all could call one to come do a cameo or come hang out or something. I don't want no money or nothing from nobody. Just call me to be around.
Did you get a ticket to the Super Bowl?
Hell no. Well, I got one, but it was through Snoop.
Okay.
But I was trying to get downstairs to get down in the back because I had my son with me, and he was home from the NFL. So I was like, I want to take my son down there so he could see Dre and see Snoop and everybody, because he hadn't seen him since he was in the NFL. So couldn't even get backstage. Nobody. I called everybody I knew. Nobody would answer their phones. I couldn't get backstage. None of that. I didn't give a about performing. I just wanted to take my son down there to see all my folks and see everybody, and to
show him what his daddy was a part of putting together and building.
Yeah, just to be around it,
because you can hear stories from Pop, but to actually see it, like, oh, my pop did this. Yeah. I mean, that would be, a proud moment for any father.
Yeah, and that's what I was on. And I didn't care about performing.
Yeah. Now this is crazy.
That's how Dre wanted it.
Yeah. No, this is crazy.
He got ghosted by Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre during their iconic Super Bowl performance. The G-Funk pioneer opened up on the Ugly Money podcast, not throwing shade, but just wishing things were different with his old friends. He mentioned how Snoop and Dre are busy doing their thing, but sometimes he wishes they'd just call him to hang out. No strings attached. No money needed. He shared a specific story from the 2022 Super Bowl. Snoop actually gave him a ticket, which was cool. But Warren G really wanted to take his son, Elijah Griffin, who used to play in the NFL, backstage to see Dre, Snoop, and the whole crew. It had been a while since his son saw them. Despite having the ticket, Warren G said he tried calling everyone he knew to get backstage access, but nobody answered. He couldn't get down there. He made it clear he didn't care about performing. He just wanted that moment for his son to reconnect with family friends. It's a bit sad considering their history. Dre is his stepbrother, and the three are West Coast legends who came up together. Warren G just wants to chill with his boys again.
You hate me, don't you?
You know what I'm saying? That was Drip News summarizing and telling you about the situation. Before that, you actually seen Warren G himself at that interview talking about how he was calling niggas and niggas wasn't getting his phone. He just wanted his son to meet Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. Now I'm gonna tell you, man, Warren G is a cool cat, man. You know what I mean? I done got the nigga on my Xbox, you feel me? He be playing Call of Duty, playing Madden, just like a regular dude, you know what I mean? mean? Real cool, real relaxed dude, though. You know what I'm saying? Definitely down to earth, real chill. You know what I mean? Real chill dude. He talk to anybody. He ain't all uppity, all up in his head. You know what I'm saying? He not doing none of that. You feel me? Just a regular dude. You know what I mean? You would think he would have some type of pride or something going on in his mind, but it is none of that. I mean, you can talk to him on the Xbox if you got him on the Xbox. I definitely got him on my friend list, you know what I mean? And he's just easy to hit up, easy to talk to, you know what I'm saying? He not cocky or none of that, you feel me? Real cool cat, you know what I'm saying? Yo, what's happening? What's happening? You going on? What's going on? You feel me? It's Kons motherfucking podcast, you know what I'm saying? So now's the time for you to hit that subscribe button, you feel me? If you ain't done it already, go on and do that now, you know what I'm saying? Right now is the perfect time to do so, you know what I'm saying? Right in the middle of the episode, you feel me? And I'm gonna probably remind you again at the end of this episode, you know what I'm saying? So go on and hit that subscribe button right now. You feel me? Yeah, let's get back to the episode. Up next, we got Will Ferrell. So Will Ferrell was on the interview, I believe, on the Colbert Show. You know what I'm saying? It was on the Colbert Show and was asked what was his first concert. He said his first concert happened to be none other than LA's own Roddy Ricch. You know what I'm saying? So Will Ferrell went to a Roddy Ricch concert and he said that this was his first concert. You know what I mean? And dude, Colbert asked, would he know any other shit? And Will Ferrell told him, nah, you wouldn't know any other shit. You know what I mean? So, and Will Ferrell said he'd been a fan of hip hop for the last 5 years, just 5 years. You know what I mean? So he knew to the hip hop game. You know what I'm saying? And Roddy Ricch said that it was his first concert that he ever been to. You know what I mean? And the video that you're gonna see, or actually, yeah, you're gonna see the video of Ferrell, and then also the Drip News summed it up. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just play that after, just like I did that one, just like I did the one before this one. You know what I'm saying? The Drip News was saying that it was a diss to Roddy Ricch, but I don't think he was dissing Roddy Ricch at all. You know what I'm saying? So this next clip you about to see, these two little clips you about to see, you're gonna see the one actual of video of Will Ferrell, and then you're gonna see the Drip News summing it up. Check these clips out.
First concert that you attended?
Roddy Ricch.
Who's Roddy Ricch? Who's Roddy Ricch?
This is a hip hop guy. About 5 years ago, it was my first concert.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Good. But do I know any of his? Would I know any of his stuff?
No.
Okay. What is the scariest animal?
The scariest animal?
Yeah.
You know what the scariest animal is?
Yeah.
The penguin.
Okay. Oof. Yeah, because...
You know the old phrase, don't turn your back on a penguin.
I do know that. I do know that, yeah. Apples or oranges?
Apples. Yeah. Yeah, it does it usually gets a whoop. A light whoop.
Have you ever asked anyone for their autograph?
I've only asked one person. Vladimir
Will
Putin.
Ferrell just delivered maybe the most unintentionally brutal description of Roddy Ricch ever. So Ferrell was on Stephen Colbert's show doing the Questioner segment, right? Colbert asked him about his first concert. Turns out it was Roddy Ricch. Pretty cool that Ferrell, on a known hip hop is fat fan, showed up. But then Colbert, maybe genuinely not knowing, asks, who is Roddy Ricch? Ferrell hits him with, just a hip-hop guy about 5 years ago. Okay, a little dismissive, then Colbert follows up. Would I know any of his stuff? Ferrell's deadpan answer? No. Just no. People online are calling it an accidental diss, pointing out Roddy's massive success back then with, please excuse me for being antisocial. It definitely sounds kinda shady, even if Ferrell, who clearly respects rap, didn't mean it that way. Roddy's been trying to drop his next album, the Navy album, for a while now, with a July release planned after delays. Wonder if he caught this interview? Talk about awkward timing for the box rapper trying to make his comeback. That no from Ferrell just hangs in the air.
You know what I'm saying? That was Will Ferrell talking about his first concert was that Roddy Ricch concert. You know what I mean? And Drip News was saying that it was a diss. I don't think it was a diss, though. You know what I mean? I think they definitely are putting narratives on that situation. I do not think that Will Ferrell was dissing Roddy Ricch. You feel me? Just because he said that Colbert is not going to know any of his material. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it was a diss at all, even though Drip News put it out there and tried to put the wordplay out there that he was dissing him, but I don't think he was dissing him, not one bit. You feel me? Will Ferrell, that was Will Ferrell. That was the clip on Will Ferrell and the Drip News summing it up for you, saying that it was a diss, but I don't think so. Last but not least, we got A$AP Rocky. You know what I'm saying? A$AP Rocky. Now we all know he married to the billionaire Rhianna with her Fenty brand and her Savage Fenty and the makeup and the lipstick and all that. You know what I mean? Rhianna got the whole Fenty line going up. You feel me? And she definitely have touched some billions from that. So we all know that A$AP Rocky has married her. You feel me? And he has came out and said that they be stealing each other's clothes. You know what I mean? Stealing each other's clothes. You feel me? Now he said that she be going to his closet stealing his shit, and he goes and steals some of her shit. Now, and then he goes on to say that, you know what I mean, he don't see no lines, no border lines between femininity and masculinity when it comes to fashion. Now, we done seen A$AP Rocky wear some wild shit. I'm talking about the dress pants, you know what I'm saying? The parachute pants that look like a dress on each leg. We done seen him in that type of shit. We done seen this nigga in pearls. We done seen this nigga in kilts. You know what I'm saying? The whole 9 yards of wild ass shit to wear as far as fashion go. We done seen A$AP Rocky in these things. You feel me? So he went on to say that, you know what I'm saying? The t-shirts tied around the head, the pearls, the kilts. You know what I'm saying? He fucks with all that shit. You feel me? And he said he'll see Rhianna in like a jacket or something that he was looking for in an interview. You know what I mean? Like, is that my motherfucking jacket? Yeah, I mean, I've been looking for that since 2021 type shit. You feel me? So he came out and said that they be stealing each other's clothes. You know what I'm saying? And he also went on to say that, you know, the t-shirts on the head and shit like that and pearls and shit, he said was worn by African men. And he said, who drew the line between feminine and masculinity? Said he don't see no lines between the two. Said it's not fair that his girl can go in his closet and take anything and wear it. Now, let's get to the clip though of him saying this, you feel me? So this next little clip that you gonna see is him speaking of just this very fact that him and his girl Rhianna be going in each other's closets, stealing each other's clothes. Check it out.
All my language, I do what the fuck I want, you know? I don't know who drew the line between like being feminine and masculinity. For me, it's not fair that my girl could just go in my closet and just take anything from it and wear it. That goes both ways. Like, she has pieces she don't know that I actually stole. You get what I'm saying? And
Nice.
I would wake up. She does it to me all the time. And sometimes you just see her on an interview or just see a paparazzi photo. Like, wait, there goes my Miu Miu fucking jacket. Like, what the fuck? I was looking for that since 2021. So for me, there's no barriers. There's no nothing. Kilts, pearls, t-shirts on the head. These are all things that were meant to be like emasculated and meant to look feminine, and they all started out with African men wearing them.
Yes.
Another fact.
You seen, you know what I'm saying? That was a clip of him saying how they be stealing each other's clothes. You know what I mean? Said he don't see no lines between masculinity and femininity, whatever the word is. You know what I'm saying? He said he don't see no lines with that when it comes to fashion. Nah, I gotta disagree with you, A$AP Rocky. Yeah, I definitely see a line when it comes to fashion as far as feminine clothes and masculinity. I definitely see a line there. You know what I mean? It is definitely a borderline and differences between the two for sure. Yeah, maybe you can holler at Young Thug about that. Maybe y'all can have a conversation about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Young Thug had a whole ass dress on the cover of his album. You feel me? And he claims that he could not find anything to go with the shoes he had on. And the only thing he could find was a goddamn women's dress that he wore on the cover of an album called, I believe, Jeffrey is the name of the album. Lord have mercy. So yeah, man, A$AP Rocky out here wilding. We've seen him in the wild, crazy shit. I definitely disagree with him as far as there's no lines between feminine and masculinity. That is a wild statement to say, and you're a man. But that's me though. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But that's the last topic. Last topic I got for today. That's all I got for today. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. You know what I mean? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. You know what I'm saying? That's the last topic of the day. This has been episode 239. You feel me? So in today, and what we just went over, Tiny Harris said that Biggie came and apologized to her for a line he put in his song and said that he'd rather fuck RuPaul than any of them Escape ugly bitches. Warren G said he felt a little left out. Niggas wasn't fucking with him. Tried calling niggas. Niggas wasn't answering their phone. He tried to have his son meet Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, and they was not answering so that he'd have his son meet them at the Super Bowl. Will Ferrell said his first concert he went to was a Roddy Ricch one. You know what I'm saying? And told Colbert that he don't think that Colbert would know any of his music. Said he'd been a hip-hop fan for the past 5 years. That is since 2020. A$AP Rocky came out and said him and his girl Rhianna be stealing each other's clothing and wearing them. You know what I'm saying? She can go in his closet and take shit and be wearing it, and he be going in her closet and taking shit and wearing it. Said he don't see no lines between masculinity and femininity, feminine stuff. We don't see no line between that when it comes to fashion. But we have seen A$AP Rock in kilts and also pearls and also his nails painted. So he's a different dude. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Just to give some little closing thoughts on these subjects. So Tiny Harris said that Biggie came and apologized. I guess he felt bad for the lyric that he used, saying that he'd rather fuck on RuPaul than he had them Escape bitches, them ugly ass Escape bitches. I guess Biggie felt the way he came and apologized for that, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? But now it was a rap lyric. It was lyrics. You know what I mean? It's not really to be too personal. But I guess he felt a way and wanted to get out that apology to Tiny Harris and the Escape group. They wasn't even trying to hear him at first. But Tiny said, let me hear what this nigga got to say. Went out there and hear what he had to say. Now, I fuck with that. You know what I mean? It's rap lyrics, but you know, if he felt bad, he wanted to go and apologize. Shout out to Biggie for doing that. You know what I mean? That's a little bit of integrity shown. You know what I'm saying? For sure. So I could definitely tip my hat to that. Warren G said niggas ain't fucking with him. You know what I mean? Tried to call them niggas was ghosts. Now, I don't know if they was purposely ghosting you, because we all know that that's your people, as far as us in the public. You feel me? Now, I don't know if they was just like, oh, that's Warren G, man, decline that shit. Now, I don't know if they was like busy or what. I don't know. You know what I mean? But definitely he felt like niggas wasn't fucking with him at that Super Bowl though. You know what I mean? I probably would have felt the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I know the shit ain't started. Y'all ain't on the stage yet. So why the fuck y'all ain't answering the fucking phone? I'm trying to have my son meet you niggas. God damn it. Will Ferrell, they trying to say that he dissed Roddy Ricch. I don't think he dissed no Roddy Ricch. You know what I mean? His first concert he said was Roddy Ricch, and he just said that Colbert probably won't know none of his shit. I don't think that was a diss at all. You know what I mean? I don't think that was a diss at all. I mean, Will Ferrell's a comedian. You know what I mean? He gonna try to get his funnies out. You feel me? So he might have thought that shit was funny, and the crowd definitely did laugh. You feel me? When he said no. No. You know what I'm saying? He just won't know none of his material. I don't think it was a diss to try to say it was a diss, but I don't think so. You know what I mean? He said he just became a fan of hip-hop 5 years ago. So he definitely new to this. So we're going to get that nigga a pass. But a pass for what? You know, I don't think it was a diss. A$AP Rocky came out and said he wears his girl's clothes. Now, I don't agree with that. You know what I mean? I definitely see a line between masculinity and femininity, for sure. There is definitely a line there, especially when it comes to fashion. God damn it, as a man, we don't wear dresses or thongs or panties. You know what I mean? As a man, we wear boxers, jeans, and, you know what I'm saying, motherfucking tank tops under our t-shirts. You feel me? We don't wear bras and panties and shit like that. So it definitely is a line between, you feel me, the two. You know what I'm saying? Masculinity and feminine. It definitely is a line there. I gotta definitely disagree with you, Mr. A$AP Rocky. You know what I mean? But shout out to your wifey, Miss Beautiful Billionaire Fainty. Yeah, me. But you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? I wear very manly shit, baggy jeans and shit, big clothes, you know what I'm saying? I don't wear nothing tight fitting. I don't wear no nut hugging ass jeans and none of that. I ain't into that as far as fashion go. I like to let my nuts hang, goddammit, not to be all stuffed and cooped up, hugged up against me by some material. But here though, you know what I mean? That's my closing thoughts, episode 239. This has been episode 239. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Because you could have been doing anything you wanted to do in the world or wherever you may be. You know what I'm saying? Whether you a brother or a sister, whether you a daughter, whether you a son, whether you a father or mother, whether you a cousin or uncle or auntie, you know what I'm saying? Whether you a godson, a godmom, a goddad, you feel me? Whether you a stepdad, a stepmother, you know what I'm saying? Whoever you are, you feel me? And if you got pets and they sitting right there watching Kons podcast with you, whether your pet is a dog or cat, whether you got a pet goat, a pet rabbit, whether you got a pet gerbil, a pet rat, whether you got a pet snake, you could have a pet motherfucking ant farm. You can have a pet bearded dragon, a pet lizard. You can have a pet crocodile, whoever it is. You know what I'm saying? If they got eyes on Kons podcast, I definitely fucks with them. You feel me? Salute, like you see my nigga saluting you, scrolling up that screen. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, though, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. You know what I'm saying? It's been episode 239. You feel me? Covering up these 4 topics today. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for covering these 4 topics with me. You feel me? I hope you learned something and I put something in the ear about these news and topics that you may not have seen or may didn't know. And you heard it first, along with my commentary, thoughts, and opinions on said subjects. You know what I'm saying? But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching, though. Stay tuned for the next episode. You know what I mean? Enjoy these credits and enjoy this stopping ass beat. Another thing about the credits, you know what I mean? I'm gonna stop summarizing and going into, you feel me, the recap, typing out the recap again in the credits. You feel me? I might put something real briefly, you know what I'm saying? But definitely typing all them credits is gonna change. You feel me? It's just gonna be all episodes is written, produced, directed, recorded, edited. You know, you definitely gonna see that. And the CEO of this motherfucker is me as well. You feel me? So I'm gonna definitely put my independence with this channel in your face on the credits for sure. You know what I'm saying? I might say something briefly about the topics or whatnot, but yeah, it ain't gonna be too much of that shit no more. You feel me? But yeah, though, episode 239, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. You hear that beat getting louder and louder in the background. That means we have concluded this episode. So listen to the slapping ass beat and fuck with these credits that I'm gonna watch. Whatever type of credits that I'm gonna type in. You feel me? But definitely keep this slapping ass beat in the background though. See y'all next episode. Right? You know what I mean? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching Kons podcast.
You hate me, don't you?